Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fade to Black. My name is Renee McRae, and I'll be your host today. And we're going to talk about dreaming. How about that? How many people dream? Do you dream? Do you know studies show that we all dream? And I'm a dreamer. I will say it. Yes, I said it. I'm a dreamer. And I'm proud of it. Now, let me tell you about dreaming because I think that that's something that we use a lot of time doing, and we a lot of times very often don't remember our dreams. And even if we do, we just throw it off as, oh, that was just a dream. Like if something happens in the dream and we don't understand it, we say, oh, well, it was just a dream anyway. Who cares? And so we should, we should care because dreaming is dreaming is an art form, and dreaming is something that we do innately without deliberation, without determination. But what if we could deliberately determine what we want to dream about and go about doing that? So I just want to kind of talk about, do dreams have any importance in your life? I'm a poet, so here we go. I'm going to do my little poem that is my message about dreaming because I think that dreaming is extremely important, and I want you to understand it as well. So, before settling in for a good night's sleep, remember your journal and pen to keep. Make sure that you place them beside your bed, for dreams will not always stay in your head. Remembering your dreams is only half the way there. Writing them down indicates that you care. There is power in dreaming, as you will soon find, for dreams hold the answers to the questions in your mind. Your dreams will inspire, inform, and advise you. Just take that first step, and your dreams will take two. So, that poem kind of encapsulizes, or how, you guys know what I'm trying to say. It encapsulizes what it is that I'm trying to say about dreaming. I've had dreams that have come true. They call that prophetic dreaming. And so I don't know, has that ever happened to you? So there's maybe somebody's trying to tell us something. You know, I've had dreams like, I'll give you an example. I had a dream that I was um, in a classroom and I was teaching through poetry. I wasn't teaching science or math or English. I was teaching life, and I was teaching it through rhyme. And I woke up and I thought to myself, oh my God, that felt so good. Like, who does that? Like, how could I do that? That felt like that's who I am and that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's so interesting that here we are, fast forward. Well, now I've been doing it for like 10, 12, 14 years. But prior to that, I had the dream. So let's say, I had the dream 15 years ago, and then within a year, my whole life changed, and I was in classrooms, and I was teaching the students through poetry about life skills, about self-respect, about self-understanding, about self-determination, about setting goals, about career path choices, and all of this through poetry. And let me show you, just to make a point. I actually um, I have some of the books that I've done with some of these kids. It's amazing. I was going to do a different show, and I had brought these books with me. But these are some of the books from the students that I've been working with. And so clearly, I've been in the classroom, and the kids, they write these poems, and I don't know if I'm showing it right, but I do all their poems and put little some of their sketches, and sometimes I put clip art as well. But as you can see, I've been doing it for a long time. We all sign each other's books. That's why there's writing all over here. And we always have a book signing. And so the kids, they write all their work out, and they find out things about themselves that they didn't know. And I find out things that I didn't, maybe I don't even want to know. But anyway, I am now working with students. I work with adults as well. And but that was just to prove a point that what I'm saying is that here I had this dream about working in the classroom with students through poetry, and now that's what I do for a living. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, if I did not know this, if I did not have this dream, I would never have thought about it. And I never would have pursued it. And I would never have recognized the opportunities when they came to me. So it's an interesting thing, because at that time I was working for a law firm, and I was a legal secretary. So here you have this dream that is trying to tell me something, and I paid attention. Now, what I suggest that you do is get yourself a piece of a journal or a book, a notebook, and a pen, and make sure that you put it beside your bed every night. Your intention is to write down your dream. When you write down your dreams, you accomplish a couple of things. One is that you learn from the dream. As you're writing it down, more of the dream will come to you. What you were thinking in the dream will come to you, and it will jar your memory as for when you've been thinking that same thing in this waking reality or this waking life. And another thing that it will accomplish by writing down your dreams is that you are paying honor, giving homage, paying honor to your dreaming. And it sets your intention when you place the book beside your bed. It sets your intention when you place the pen beside your bed, that I am going to not only have dreams tonight, but I'm going to remember my dreams tonight. And so, see, because a lot of times people say, oh, I don't remember my dreams. But it's okay. It's a process. And you can remember your dreams. And the way that you do that is by programming yourself. Because a lot of times we program a clock, and say, for instance, you have to wake up at like 7, and you program the clock, and then you wake up at like 6:59 before the clock goes off. How many times has that happened, right? We do it all the time. We wake up before the clock goes off. Because when we program that clock, when we set that clock, we actually set our own internal clock. We programmed ourselves. We decided, we had an intention, and then we followed through with actually programming the clock. So in doing that, we set our own biological clock to wake us up in the morning. And it happens all the time, and it happens most of the time unconsciously. It's not something that we actually say, oh, I'm going to program myself today. We don't, you know what I mean? We don't do it, but that's exactly how it's done. And you can program yourself not only to have a dream, but you can program yourself to remember the dream. And see, therein lies the thing, the issue. You can say and you have to do, this is how I do it. I say it to myself 3 times before I go to sleep, that I'm going to have a dream. Like, say, for instance, I'm working with an issue. Now we're talking about having a dream. Not only am I planning to remember my dream and then write it down. Let's go there first. Say, for instance, you're going to tell yourself, tonight I'm going to have my dream. In the morning, I'm going to remember my dream. And you don't have to tell yourself you're going to have a dream. You can tell yourself, I'm going to remember my dream. In the morning, I'm going to remember my dream, and I'm going to write it down. And you say that to yourself 3 times. I'm going to remember my dream in the morning, and I'm going to write it down. In the morning, I'm going to remember my dream, and I'm going to write it down. And so then in the morning, when you wake up, you're going to lay there, and you're going to remember your dream. That may not happen the first time, but if you do this every night, it's going to happen. And when you wake up and you remember your dream, write it down. Don't say, oh, I'll write it down later. Because you know how many times you wake up with a dream in your head, And off you go talking about, oh, I'm going to talk, I'll think about it later. Or, I had this dream, I can't remember what it was, went out the window. Yeah. So we have to remember the dream at the same time. We have the pen. That's why the pen and paper is right next to you on the bed. So you can pull that paper and write it down. And so then while you're writing it down, you'll be amazed at what you will learn from your dreams, because your dreams will speak to you in the language of the language that you understand. That's why if I have a dream, I can't really expect someone else to interpret it for me, because it speaks to me in my own symbols. So for instance, I had a dream one time. I've had so many dreams. It's like I can just think, which one do I want to share? Well, I told you the prophetic one, about me in the thing, in the school, which happened. Then I also, I had another dream. My cousin had a baby. And I thought to myself, now his kids are grown. He's not even with anyone. He's not going to have a baby. And it was a son, a boy. And, a year later, he had a baby. Him and his wife got back together. They had a baby and a boy at that. So, but that's still prophetic. And I know you guys probably have some prophetic dreams as well. If you ever have a dream, you know what? And you want to figure out how to analyze it, you can contact me, because that's one of the things I do in my coaching is I do dream coaching, because I love it. I love, 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 love dreaming. So, but there are other ways that you can get information from dreams as well. Like information that you need if you're working with a problem. Like for instance, at one point I was working with this issue every single day. Every morning I went to sleep, I woke up with it. Every night I went to sleep thinking the same thing. Should I do this or should I do that? Should I do this or should I do that? Should I do this or should I? It was like, and I didn't even realize how much time this went on forever. And then one night I had this dream. And it was a crazy dream because I was on a motorcycle. And I'm driving. I go take one of my daughters to school. And I'm thinking, oh, this is going to break down. I don't know. I didn't even think about that. But I went around the corner with this motorcycle, and the motorcycle broke down. And anyway, I woke up. And I said to myself, what in the world was I doing on a motorcycle? Now, a lot of times your dreams will come to you with symbols that snatch your attention right to it. It makes no sense at all, and that's why you remember it. Because if it had been me driving a car, I probably wouldn't even have remembered that dream. But because it was me on a motorcycle, it was like, what was I doing on a motorcycle? Okay, I'm going to write it down anyway. So I grabbed my pen and my paper, and I'm writing it down. And I wrote down, I'm writing the dream that I got a motorcycle. I'm taking my daughter to school. We get around the corner. The bike breaks down. So now I say to myself, I knew this bike was going to break down. Why did I bring this bike out? This bike breaks down every single time I drive it. So now I have thoughts going on. And I didn't remember that initially. I just remembered I was on a bike. But as I'm writing it down, the thoughts started coming to me. So it's a funny thing. I realized immediately where I have the same thought about something else. But I was saying, should I do this or should I do that? Should I do this or should I do that? Well, if I do this, it always never works anyway. I don't know why I'm not going to do that. I shouldn't do that because it doesn't work. My mind is going like this. So I saw it. As soon as I said, oh, this bike is going to break down, I'm writing it down. I'm like, oh my God, that's what I say all the time. No wonder I can't make up my mind. I'm actually, that by the thoughts we think and the words we say, we're creating our lives every day. And what are the thoughts that we don't see that hold us in this misery? And once we know we're writing the script, then maybe we'll change the language a bit. You see, because words like try and words like fate, they keep us living in the same old state. Words like could and words like should, they keep us living in the same old hood. Then we want to search the clouds. We want to yell and scream and cry out loud. And responsibility we deny. But we're the ones speaking the lies. So anyway, so that's a little poem to pretty much give you my point in a, I talk and rhyme because I'm a poet. So what else am I going to do? I mean, it just comes out every now and then. It's like the best way of me expressing to you exactly what it is that I'm trying to say. Because here I am saying to myself, if I do this, it's not going to work. And so, of course, every time I did it, it did not work. So now the dream comes and it tells me I'm riding the bike. The bike breaks down. I say to myself, I knew it. I knew this bike was going to break down. I don't even know why I got on this bike. And then I realize that's what I say. So when you say it, it happens. So I said I knew the bike was going to break down. The bike broke down. So in my life, my waking life, where I'm considering this or considering that, and I'm telling myself, well, if I do this over here, it's not going to work. So then I don't do it. And every time I try, it breaks down. It doesn't work. Well, try telling yourself something different. Try telling yourself, yeah, this is going to work because I'm going to make it work. And because it's the right thing. Or because. But just instead of saying the negative thing, say the positive thing. Flip the script. Flip the switch. Flip the script. Flip the switch. Either way, flip it. Change it. Make a different choice. And that's my point. So that dream showed me the fallacy of what I was thinking, of how I was thinking, of how I was governing my life by negative thoughts and living the negative consequences or outcomes because I had already spoken it into existence. So that's what I want to kind of give you on that end, is that in dreaming, dreams will give you the answers to something that you're working with, or give you the answer to something that maybe you want to do. You say, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do with my life. Well, maybe you can have a dream and it will tell you, just like the dream told me, go into the classroom and work with the kids. It didn't say that, but when I felt that dream, I thought, oh my God, that feels so right. That feels like who I am. So you can have emotions in your dreams, You can have thoughts in your dreams. You can have colors in your dreams. You can fly in your dreams. How many of you have done that? I'm sure you have. But, did I tell you how to get in touch with me? No, I didn't. If you want to analyze your dreams, I'm going to tell you. Give me a buzz. My number is which one should I get? Okay. 212-769-7918. And my name is Renee McRae. The poet with the rhyming name, right? But anyway, so back to dreaming. So we have dreams, and dreams are like a tool. You know how we use our words to create in the world? We also use our thoughts to create. We also use our visualizations, our images. People say, oh, visualize, Tiger Woods or whoever. They visualize a hole in one, and then they hit the ball and it's a hole in one. Michael Jordan, he visualized going to the hoop, and then boom, he goes to the hoop. And we all know what happens, right? But a lot of times people use different tools like thinking, like visualizing, like speaking, like writing, and like meditating, and like dreaming. So dreaming is another thing that you can do to have what you want. If I told you that the dream state, that once you go into sleep and you're in a dream state, and that dream state is the fertile ground where you can plant your seeds and then they grow in this reality. How about that? Have you ever thought of something like that? Like, you could deliberately dream something that you want to happen. Have it happen in the dream. And then live it here. Now, I know that sounds crazy, right? But it's the truth. I mean, you can actually do that. And I think it's really important that we begin to understand, begin to explore the power of dreaming. Explore the benefits of dreaming, of deliberate dreaming, of conscious dreaming. Have you ever woke up in your dream and know that you're dreaming? How about that? And you're like, oh my God, I'm dreaming. Now, sometimes you're in a dream and you wake up but you're not the same person. Like you don't have the same, maybe you're not living in the same address, or maybe you're not living in the same, you don't have the same dog. You don't have the same husband. That you have the husband, maybe his name is the same, but it doesn't look like him. It's like kind of weird. But there are times when you can actually dream where you are in your same body, with your same name, with your same address, with your same wife, your same husband, your same kids. You go to the same job. Everything is exactly the same in the dream. You know all the information. If someone asks you your telephone number, you know it. Like, have you ever had a dream where someone asks you their telephone number and you just can't remember it? And then if somebody asks you your address in a dream and you just can't seem to pull it. You just can't get it. Well, sometimes when you do conscious dreaming or lucid dreaming, you have access to all of that information. And here you are in the dream, wide awake. Now you can go to work. Now you can create what you want in that dream and then live it in this one. How about that? I know that sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, dreaming is exciting. Dreaming is powerful. And dreaming is something we do a lot of, and we don't even know. We don't even know it. Studies have shown that everyone dreams, that they have that rapid eye movement. They can tell. You close your eyes, you go to sleep, and then they test you. When your eyes start moving fast, rapid eye movement, that's when that's when they know that you're dreaming, and they wake you up. So they did this study in 1953. I think it was at Harvard, and they had to abort it actually because the participants were losing their minds, because what they did was they stopped the people from dreaming every single time they had rapid eye movement. They would wake them up, and then they would let them go back to sleep. And then as soon as their eyes start, they would wake them up. So they were never able to dream. And after the first night of that, they were a little bit cranky. The next day, they were a little bit cranky, a little bit cranky, irritable. The following day, which is the second day, they not only were a little bit cranky, they were like, they didn't feel well at all. And they were, I don't know exactly what the symptoms were, because I'm not even going to sit here and lie. But I know they had to cancel it and abort the mission. And so the third day, they didn't even do it because they felt that the people that were participating were actually losing their sanity. So they had symptoms of mental illness by the second day of sleeping, but no dreaming. So dreaming is extremely important to us and for us. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about dreaming today. And I know we could go in depth a little bit more on a lot of the issues having to do with dreaming, but I think we touched a little bit on everything, a little bit on a lot. And like I said, explore your dreams, get you that dream journal, get you that notebook, put it beside your bed, and determine that you are going to write down your dreams, that you are going to remember. You know how you dismember? You're going to remember your dreams. I'll give you another tip. If you wake up and you can't remember your dream, turn over to the way that you were sleeping. Because a lot of times we turn over and then we can't remember anything, but you turn into the position you were sleeping in, and a lot of times your dream will come flooding right back to you. So have an open mind. Think about it in a way that, yes, I can do this. And you'll be surprised at what will come to you in your dreams. Your dreams can tell you information that you need to know about yourself, about other people, and it can help you in having what you want in your life. So this is Renee McRae. I want to thank you for spending this time with me today. And I will come back again another day and we'll discuss some dreaming a little bit more. My website is ReneeMcRae.com. It's www.ReneeMcRae.com. Renee McRae. I look forward to hearing from you and chatting with you. Have a great evening. So until next time, sweet dreams.
Stop killing black African sons. Cops don't shoot at white males 41 times. Test all the cops with our racism quotient test.
Welcome to Fade to Black. We are black at you one more time, and I'm Barbara Scott, and I'm glad to be here presenting today. This has been a fantastic Black History Month, shortest month, but nonetheless, it's been wonderful for me. I've had the pleasure of meeting Angela Davis, and a couple of days ago, I was introduced to Danny Glover, and today, I've been waiting for over a year to come in and speak to the warrior queen of Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Republic of Brooklyn, and here she is right in our face, Sister Carol Taylor.
Hi,
so
hi. Nice meeting you, and I love you black.
Thank you. So great to come into your domain today. I'm glad you've allowed us to come in here and
sure.
just light the place up, because we needed to talk to you. You know, and as you can see, people, we've got the little black book spread out here, and that's the end of the story, or not the end of the story, but that's the icing on the cake, this black book. But before we go to the black book, I just want Sister Carol to tell us, because unbeknownst to many of us, this sister is the first African-American airline.
Black.
Black,
Please.
I'm sorry.
African-American I don't subscribe to. I'm the first black flight attendant in America.
You heard it from the warrior's mouth. The first
black flight attendant in America, yes, in the United States. Let me put it more accurately. In the United States of America. Yeah, let's put it really the way it is. Yes.
Now that we've cleared that up, tell us about that experience.
Well, that experience came from the Urban League had for many years toiled in a labor against the color line in the the United States air industry. And of course they were obdurate that they weren't going to hire somebody of color. And then when I stepped up and applied, seeing my color and my features and hearing me speak, they didn't really bend over backwards to get a whole lot of beautiful melanin. But if they had been able to look inside my brain, I assure you, I'd have been the last person on earth they hired. All right, because it's a philosophy. Black is a philosophy, and I'm full of that philosophy. All right, and I do not see that people should continue in the sickness which we call color sickness, which is why I came up with testing for racism, colorism. We say racism, colorism because we're trying to get people out of the bad habit of saying racism, because there's only one race.
Exactly.
And many colors, as my son says, many colors, one race. All right? And so that's how we came up with www.racismtest.org.
Okay.
www.racismtest.org. That is a test which defines the relative degree of colorism within the individual, and we are trying to eradicate that sickness because it is a mental illness. You're going to hold someone's color over which they've had no control, they didn't ask to be born, for the rest of their lives, and you're going to judge a person by their color rather than the character. All right? Not good enough. All right? And so as a New York State registered nurse, I don't subscribe to mental illness anywhere, right?
Okay.
And colorism is a mental illness, right?
Global.
Right. So I have found since the airline work, I have been devoting and dedicating my life and my spare time to helping to eradicate that particular mental illness. Huh? So, and I see it all over the place, and people say, well, racism is not a problem anymore. It's not a problem if you're white.
Well, no.
Maybe, without a conscience.
And some of us just simply say white supremacy domination. And,
Yes.
And use that rather
Yes.
than racism.
Yes. Well, if you want to go a step beyond that, because no matter what color we are, when we go through an institutionally colorist miseducation system,
Yeah.
we are tarnished, if you will,
Yeah.
or infected with that particular colorism that is extant in that institution,
Yes.
so that anyone can be colorist, irrespective of their particular color. So just because somebody's black or brown or yellow or red does not mean that they don't have that particular taint, which comes from the miseducation in America.
Yeah.
Miseducation of the masses. I mean, anytime you have an education, so-called education system, which obdurately refuses to teach the truth about where we all come from. If, in fact, the first people on earth were beautiful blue-black Africans in in Africa,
Yes.
then it stands to anybody's reason and common sense, which isn't so common these days, evidently, that all humans are of black African origin.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear that.
And Nova did it, but they ignored Nova.
Oh, yes.
So it's a kind of madness to be in that state of denial. In
All
any
right,
case.
right. Who was the man who, Dr. Spencer Wells, with his Journey of Man, who traced genetically, he's a geneticist, traced the travel of human beings from the original black people in in Africa, straight along and up and around through Asia and around and all around.
Read their
So,
lips.
all right. So, as he said, we're all African.
Yeah. So you got the job,
Yes.
and you became the first.
Yeah, and I had some interesting things. One little old lady came up to me after I had made my announcement on one of the flights. We flew Convairs, 2-engine jobs. And she said, Miss, I said to myself, here it comes. And she said, hello, well, my friend and I, we were talking and we were wondering what you are. Well, whenever I get anything like that, they never get an answer. I said, oh, yes? Yes. Well, we decided that you're Korean. Well, they had to pick me up off the floor. I was
Like Tiger Woods.
hysterical. I'm Cable Asian, right? I was hysterical. You know, well, she never got her answer.
Okay.
You know, don't come asking me. I'm human. Don't ask. And it's spelled Hueman, because all humans have some level of melanin in them.
Hugh, yes.
Hue. Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
So this work has been really fascinating because it's been a learning experience for me too.
So you were with the airlines. and
Yeah,
all those
I got
years.
bored in 3 months and I managed to hang on for 6 months. And the turnover, annual turnover with the regular kind of people was a year.
Okay.
So,
That's still an icebreaker, nonetheless.
oh, well, yes. And then
Yeah.
after that, they decided that we didn't have, tails. It's really ridiculous. It is
Listen to Germany
ridiculous.
for a minute. but
All
anyway.
right, all right,
I
yeah.
have some beautiful German cousins because of that tail.
All right, all right.
In Virginia.
So today I have here with me Miss Hawa Ba, and she is the mother of Muhammad Ba. I don't know if you know this story, but it's an amazing story. I want to thank you for being here today and for the willingness that you have to tell this story and share with our listeners and our viewers.
Thank you so much to have me here today. It's my pleasure to let you know my name, Hawa Ba, of course, the mother of Muhammad Ba. Muhammad Ba was a black young man in America. He came here, he was just 16 years old. He go to school. He graduated as a honor student to Drew Clinton High School.
Can I ask? He was 16 when he came here?
When he came here.
And he went to what school? Where was
Drew
this?
Clinton High School.
In what borough is that?
Bronx.
Okay.
He was in Bronx Community College.
Okay.
He was in Bronx first. He go to school. And after the time he died, he was a Bronx Community College student.
Were you here too?
I used to be back and forth.
Okay. From where?
From Guinea. I'm from Guinea, West Africa. But I'm an international business person. I bring my 3 children here, but I can make back and forth because I know it's not just the school can give education for child.
Yes.
It got to be the school, the parent, the community, and the teacher.
Right.
So I be back and forth all the time. As soon as I got chance, I can see what they're doing, if everything okay, and I give them the mother love
Right.
and support. Then I go back for my business.
So when Muhammad was here and he was in high school, when he was in college, he was living in the Bronx as well?
When he was in college, he lived in Manhattan.
Oh, Manhattan.
Manhattan, yes.
Oh,
He
okay.
was 124 Morningside Avenue.
Oh, okay.
That's the place he would live and go to school.
Okay.
And he was a taxi driver also.
Oh,
When he started grow up, he said, Mommy, now I'm a grown-up man. I want to be an independent man. I don't want to wait for you to send me money. I want to go to school and have a part-time job driving a yellow taxi.
okay.
So he was a student and taxi driver.
And so he enjoyed that
He enjoyed that. He was having a happy life,
and making his own money.
making his own money.
And how old was he then? At
He-
that time?
When he died,
Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
he was, it was 3 days before he turned 8.
28?
Yes.
Okay.
I was trying my best when I see he's sick. I was trying my best to take him to the hospital before 28 did, and he get well. He loved to go to Statue of Liberty in Staten Island, so I used to come here. We celebrate my birthday to Statue of Liberty in Staten Island.
Okay. So you came to visit him because you knew he was sick,
Yeah, he called me on the phone.
and you were in Guinea at the
I
time.
was in Guinea.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
When he called me, speaking to him, I realized something wrong with him. And he started asking me if I come in for his birthday. I said, yes, I will come for his birthday.
Okay.
But I can tell on the phone that something happened to him.
Something was going on.
Yeah, something was wrong.
Because we know our children.
Yeah.
You know, mothers know when something. They don't even have to open their mouth. If like now we have FaceTime with the phone, and you can be on the phone. I know when one of my daughters calls and I'm on, I can see it on their face. You know, we can talk about 10 other things, and then we're gonna get to whatever that's on your face when I first saw you. So you know what I'm saying. So I know you know, because that's that mother's knowledge, that mother's wisdom, that mother's feeling and bond that we share. And our children are too far away when you're in Guinea and he's here, and you hear that sound. So you getting here quick.
I feel like something wrong. I tell him, I come see my son and be with him on his birthday.
Right.
Yeah.
And see what's going on.
Yes,
So
yeah.
when you got here, where did you go?
When I got here, he promised me I would meet him to the airport. I
Okay.
arrived at the airport, I called him, he said, I'm sorry, Mom, I cannot go to the airport, but you will meet me outside.
Okay.
And closing to her house, I said, I arrived almost to your house. He said, okay. And he reached outside and gave me a hug.
Okay.
But when we talk and things, I know he was sick.
Something was going on.
Something was going on.
So you don't know what exactly happened? Do you think
No.
that someone could have drugged him or something?
Some people got beaten. He got beaten from unknown people.
Oh, he was beat up?
Yes, he was a beat up. But I never had the chance to know what really happened to him.
Oh.
But I asked, they advised me to call an ambulance.
Okay.
I called an ambulance. I never called police. Calling the ambulance to Black and Brown, I want to say I don't want police to be the first response. 911 call.
Right.
Again.
Right. I mean, if you know, it's an interesting thing when you call the police, when you call 911, the police usually come first because I had to call for my mom. She had passed out in the house. By the time she came to, the police came. She wanted to go to one hospital. They said no, but then the EMS came, and the police left because they couldn't really control the situation. So they just left. Because my mother was determined where she wanted to go. But it's funny that they came first, and then the ambulance came.
Yeah.
But the ambulance in your case did not come.
Before the ambulance came, my son was dead already. When they look at me and ask me who I know, I say, I don't understand what you mean. I don't call police, I call an ambulance. They say, Mom, don't worry. Here is the system. When you call an ambulance, we will come first. When we see the person, we'll call the ambulance. When they reach on my son's apartment, see him, he named Mohammed, he Black. They blocked the way, they drive me outside. He closed the door. When he closed the door, the same thing I tell them go away, he tell them go away, I don't call you. They tell me ambulance people coming. They make a gap from the 5th floor to the 3rd floor, nobody coming in, nobody going out. They broke the door, they shot him 8 times.
How many times?
8 times in the evening. When I was talking to them, begged them, said, listen, my son didn't do nothing wrong. He just sick, I want to take him to the hospital.
You told them this first.
I told them that. And when I see them running, coming with shields, hammer, weapon, vest, heavy vest and gun, I said, what's going on? I said, I'm looking for ambulance. I'm not called police. They claim Mohammed don't want to open the door. I said, if you said Mohammed don't want to open the door, let me talk to him, he will open the door. They refused, they don't want to listen to me. I thought because I'm immigrant, they didn't hear my English. I sent 2 people. I said, please, let these people know I just need an ambulance. They don't let them come in. Mohammed was a good boy. He was having like a 75 years old lady in that same building which he always looked to help. That old lady come outside. I said, what you running for? Said, that young man, he's a good man. He good for everyone here. He just sick there a few days. If you're talking about opening the door, let him man talk to him, he'll open the door. He's sick, but he never had no one here.
Right.
They don't listen to that man, that lady also. They kill him. And when they kill him, they come outside and tell me that they opened the door. I said, I want to see my son. He said, no, you can't see him. I said, why? He said, it's a cop of shoot. I said, you shot my son? He said, no.
What?
He said, no. I said, then I want to see my son. He said, no, he just got a little scars in his hand, will get better. But want to take him to the hospital and come back, take you to the hospital. One African American lady said, all the white people behind your son, Mom, your son dead. I said, what? He said, they kill your son. You don't know the life we live here. Don't listen to them, they are fooling you. And they come back say, don't listen to this lady, she crazy. Trust us. Go into the hospital, send your son to the hospital and come pick you up. She brought the taxi, we get, he said, follow them, don't wait for them. Reach into the hospital, finally when I see the first one officer, he looked at me like he eye popping up. I said, what is my son? He said, I don't know. I said, NYPD brings a young man here. It's my son. Can I see him? He said, no. I said, what happened? Would they kill my son? He said, doctor, I will tell you, not me.
Who was this?
One of the security guard.
Oh, security guard.
Security guard.
Now, who was the person that brought you in the taxi? Who was this person?
This was neighborhood. One of
Just somebody in the neighborhood?
Yes, on the neighbors.
Not anyone you even knew?
No.
Just somebody said, I got you.
Yes.
Come with me.
Come with me.
I'm going to take you.
Mm-hmm. Then, finally, the doctor shook my hand, said, sorry, mom, for your loss. They killed your son.
That's what the doctor said?
Mm-hmm. He said, they shoot your son and kill him. I said, for what? They killed my son? He said, I don't know. It was a nightmare for me since 2012, September 25th, 2012.
What, September 25th?
September 25th, 2012. I really don't know at that time what to do.
Right.
Because Mohammed was everything for me. He was the hope for the family.
Right.
And
he was your oldest son?
He was my baby. He was the last baby.
Oh, he was the baby.
Loved me and iman me or everything you can think about. Mohammed started doing community service when he was just 7 years. When he come from school, he can walk in the community and see the less fortunate people. Bring to
Just a good heart.
Good heart. Put them to the table, eat with them. And if some of them sick, he say, Mommy, you see this one here? He said, I said, Mr. Mayor, what are you doing today again? He laughed, he said, I know you have more, but you can do more again. Help people.
You call him Mr. Mayor?
I call him sometimes Mr. Mayor because when he comes, he might see what's going on the barrel.
He's the boss.
Yeah, he can check.
He running things.
He run things and everybody love him and respect him. So sometimes.
From as a child?
From when he was a child.
Like he came here for that?
Yes. And some of the Whitecars, they call him Yankee boy, they laugh about that. Mohammed no deserve to die the way they killed him here. But I think that he should be like a hero. Mohammed is a hero to the black and brown people. Because after the fighting of 6 years, some of the truth come out.
And what was that?
The truth of they find Edwin Mateo guilty.
They found who guilty?
Some of the officers who shot him at close range guilty for his death.
Oh.
And we never quit until we have trial.
Did they have a trial?
We have the trial, but the civil suit trial. But at least each of them be on the bar and talk lies. Many of them were talking lies, but everybody knows about the lie. While they were talking, 3 days after the trial, somebody tell us what's going on the case. They claim that Mohammed have a knife. They never produced that knife. The knife never show up nowhere. No DNA text, no analysis, nothing. And even the clothes for Mohammed, they kept everything.
They kept his clothes?
Kept the clothes for evidence. So someone tell us and just give the order everything to come to the court. They brought everything to the court. Some of the truth come out. They find them guilty for my son's death. At least some of the truth come out.
Right.
At least I make sure I make chin in the city here.
Right. When did they have the trial? That where they found him guilty?
Last year.
Oh, okay. So what was that? 5 years?
After 6 years.
6 years.
6 years for fighting.
How did you get an attorney? Where did you find an attorney?
I find him here for my daughter.
Your daughter lives here?
Yeah. Would take the first attorney, and my daughter was not happy with it because after they killed Mohammed, I go home to bury him. I was just one for him to rest in peace.
Right. And at that time, you needed peace too. You
At that time, my family hold me like a baby, and friends. I used to have like shock on my body. It was a nightmare for my life. All my family, my friends, everyone stand up, think about my life first.
So what gave you the strength or the will to continue?
The strength and the will, when I see what happened to me, the way I love Mohammed loved me. And they tell the world that I call police, they give me a strength to show them up is not true.
Right, okay.
To make the changing, because all the time when they kill someone, they blame the victim. They have their own story to say.
Right.
Which people can listen if
So
you're
you
not.
could be his voice.
If you not be the person's voice, nobody will be a voice. I will have in my strength to be a voice
Right,
for the world to hear what happened to him.
right.
For me to make sure this not happen to black and brown again. Because after this, activists, parents, community, friends, everyone stand with me to join a different club to make sure my voice is heard to the world. The Department of Justice, the police department, the DOJ, all of them failed to indict them and convince them. But I never quit. Anytime they didn't do the right thing, I said this is just the beginning.
So they didn't give you a hard time about coming back and forth in the country or anything like that?
Well, no. When I came back burying, I have a little trouble to the airport, but that it was just a mistake and I returned.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love America, I love to travel, but I was thinking about my job.
Right.
And I want to make sure anything I say in this world here, I be the truth.
Right.
They asked me when I come back if I have problem at home. I say no. The problem what I have at home is like everyone I can survive. I say, but here I got problem now because they killed my son.
Right.
But after when I returned that one, the DOJ sent a subpoena for me to come for the jury.
Right.
Which is, I tell you, they just want you to know what from your mouth to help the car cover up.
Wait, say that again?
They just want to know
Mm-hmm.
how they can cover up more and more.
Mm-hmm.
They have a book here they call the 58. They show every single death of black and brown here. Every document you can get is shield. We'll fight on that to put the truth out.
Right. It's that wall.
Fight for that.
It's that wall.
Everyone helped me to fight for the justice. I won't lie to you to say because I'm an immigrant, people don't help me. No, they do. They help
But they
me.
didn't know you were a mom on a mission.
That is.
But they found out.
They find out the people who killed him didn't know that. But they find out because coming to the trial, Eddie Matthew was Afghanistan. They said they don't know about him. I said he got to come back. I might face to him face to face, to judge and jury, like he said what he did to my son.
Right.
And